Oh, I gotta get something water thing real quick though.
All right, now we can podcast.
Now I'm ready.
Or whatever.
Billy D. Williams for Colt 45.
Welcome, Absurdists, to the Football Absurdity YouTube channel. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Brandon Andreessen, one of the co-founders of the Fancy Boys Club. Brandon, thanks for joining me.
No problem. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, and let's just get into it.
Do it.
Week 1 is in the can, and God, have I missed football. Have you missed football? Because I have missed football.
It washed over me like just an orgasmic, that's kind of what meth probably feels like the first time. It just hits your body. You can't recreate that feeling of week 1, having the Red Zone Network counting down for the first time of the season. Oh, baby, I was all about it.
Yeah. So the first question is, what is the biggest overreaction of the weekend?
For me, it's that the Baltimore Ravens are all of a sudden a Super Bowl contender, and that there is something like some big, deep meaning to their Week 1 thing. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Week 1 is meant for hyperbole. It's built for hyperbole. That's what it is. They were playing the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins deserve to be relegated to the Arena Football League. And if the Arena Football League doesn't exist, even better, because I don't want to have to watch them on my TV for the rest of the season. That was an embarrassment. The fact that their players were calling their agents after the game, week 1, saying that they want to be traded, is a complete indictment of the entire process that is going down in Miami right now. The Baltimore Ravens were the benefactors of a very easy schedule to start it. Let's pump the brakes. I want to see Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown do this against an actual NFL team.
I love it. I'm right there with you. I like to refer to the Miami Dolphins as the bye week because that's what they are. They legitimately look like they are on pace for an 0-16. They look like how the Raiders were supposed to look.
and a less competitive 0-16 than the Lions were a few years back.
Oh, there was just – I mean, I have never seen a team with so little heart. Like, they just looked like they didn't care. And how could you? You traded away some of your best players, and who's going to lead you? Like, you got a choice between Josh Rosen, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Even Fitzmagic couldn't bullshit his way into anything there.
There's just no talent on that team.
No, there isn't. And to be fair, like, the Ravens, they're pretty good. Like, I think they're a decent team. But they're not a laying 60 points in week 1 team. Like, they're not that good.
No, they're not the Air Coryell Chargers of the 70s. They're not the Patriots when they had Randy Moss. They're none of those things. It was just a good week.
Well, my overreaction from week 1 is very personal, and that is Mitch Trubisky. I am as down on him as I can possibly be. I was watching Deshaun Watson lay magic. I saw Patrick Mahomes throw for 300 yards in the first half against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And how is Mitch Trubisky the first quarterback taken in that draft? Like, I'm hoping maybe it was just maybe it'll get better, but I've already given up on Mitchell Trubisky. I'm just overreacting right now, and I'm being like, it's over. The Mitchell Trubisky, I'm done. I don't believe anymore. Hopefully you can change my mind, but that was terrible. And I think the Packers defense has gotten better.
After a week like that, it's going to be hard to change anyone's minds. The only thing I will say is that Matt Nagy, that was an absolute garbage game play calling-wise. In the third quarter, when it finally looked like they were going to establish the running game, they were on a 3rd and 1, a short one. And instead of just running the ball up the gut with Mike Davis, who had been getting 3, 4, 5 yards every time he was touching the ball, they decided to run a shotgun RPO play that went from -3 yards. They had to punt. Nothing looked right. Once again, it's becoming very obvious that Mitch Trubisky does not know how to throw the ball to the left side of the field. He can only throw to the right side of the field. When he's running to his right, he looks like a good quarterback. If he's out of the pocket, moving to his right. But if he's moving to his what is he going to be, a two true outcome quarterback? If he goes to his right, he's going to be fine. If he goes to his left, he's going to be good. That's not really a way to succeed in the NFL. Defensive coordinators are going to just key in on that.
And where is the throws to his second read or his third read? I mean, unless it was Allen Robinson, he didn't want to throw it to them. And unfortunately, sometimes Allen Robinson's covered because defenses are figuring it out. Like, Mitch Trubisky was a huge disappointment, but the entire offense outside of Allen Robinson was a huge disappointment. Matt Nagy's play calling was just boring. That offensive line, Jeff Daniels, like, he got blown up. It is Jeff Daniels, right? Is that the rookie or the second-year center? I just realized I don't remember his name, but I don't want to remember his name.
It's B.J. Daniels, isn't it?
Huh?
B.J. Daniels.
Not B.J. Daniels for sure.
No?
I mean, the way he was playing, it kind of looked like it.
All right. But anyway, regardless, though, it was more of a situation where, like, Tariq Cohen didn't get one rush. David Montgomery was heavily limited in the running game, even though he was gashing off large chunks of
he was clearly the best runner. That's what was infuriating about it. Like, just a complete misuse of the talent that you have on the field.
I think the only thing I hold out is, I haven't looked it up, but I'd love to see what Mitch Trubisky's underlying stats look like when Trey Burton is on the field compared to when Trey Burton isn't. Trey Burton is obviously a very big part of this offense, and when he's not out there, they struggle to move the ball at all. That's on the Bears, though. I'm kind of sick of Adam Shaheen. Like, we're in how many years of him being the next guy? They had a guy in camp, the guy out of Harvard, Jesper Horsted, who was catching everything in sight. I don't care if it was against backups. He was making incredible plays out there. Why aren't they focusing on putting a pass-catching tight end on the active roster if there is concern that Trey Burton is hurt?
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, on to the next question. Antonio Brown to the Patriots. What are our thoughts on that?
My thoughts were pretty much everyone else's, and that's the NFL is done. It's over. As long as Tom Brady doesn't go down with a major injury this year, the Patriots are now the runaway favorite to win the Super Bowl. It's very early in the year to predict that and call that, but Vegas odds are down. It's of something absurd, like 5 or 6 to 1 odds of them winning the Super Bowl. That's ridiculous odds. That is unreal betting lines when there's so many variables that can go on for 4 months left in the season, in the regular season, and then the playoffs. It's absolutely incredible that everyone is just rolling over and dying for it, and with good reason. Antonio Brown, if he's on his best behavior, is going to pull a Randy Moss in 07. This guy's going to put up in 14 games probably. He's going to put up 1,200 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, and he's going to completely change that offense around. It's going to open up everyone else in that offense to be better. The running game is going to be better because they're going to have to they're not going to be able to run single high safeties even a little bit on the Panthers. They're going to go too high at all times because especially when N'Keal Harry comes back. N'Keal Harry is a speed guy who's going to pop up the top of that defense.
He's their fourth receiver at best. Like Antonio Brown, you say 1,200 yards, that might be conservative. Antonio Brown may be crazy, but he's still the best receiver in football. Like, consistently, no one's better. And he's got the GOAT at quarterback now. He's got Josh Gordon. Like, that receiving core could be done in like a week, though, with suspensions and just like that's the scariest receiving core for opposing teams and also for Patriots fans. Like, all I know my first thought was, yeah, this is why people think there's no God. Like,
it's like driving a Corvette without an airbag. That's all it is. It is a fast-paced team. It's fast. It's sexy. It's amazing. But if things go wrong in that wide receiving core, they could go wrong in a hurry. That being said, it's still Tom Brady. As long as he's healthy, as long as he's on the field, this is the favorite for the Super Bowl.
And the real crazy thing is, like, I don't know that they needed it because that defense quietly has gotten so much better. Like, it's a very underrated Patriots defense, and you saw it the way they just clowned the Steelers. Although that defense always clowns the Steelers, so I don't know how much to read into the defense, but man,
and the Patriots might suck. Like, not the Patriots. I'm sorry, the Steelers might suck.
Well, I mean, you just lost one of the best receivers and running backs in football and acted like it would be no big deal. And we're starting to see that
they brought in
like personalities like
Smith-Schuster to be the new number 1 receiver. But the fact is, who's their new number 2 receiver? I don't even remember his dumb, shitty name. All I know is he got
Washington. Was it
No,
Dante
it wasn't
Moncrief?
Washington. Yeah, it was Dante Moncrief.
Well,
He ended up with 3 receptions for 9. He's number 2 on their depth chart. He ended up with 3 receptions for 9 yards. That's their number 2. You get rid of Antonio Brown, your replacement with Juju Smith-Schuster, and then Dante Moncrief is your new number 2 receiver, and James Washington is supposed to be the guy that's keeping defenses honest. That team's going to be a disaster this year if they don't figure something out in a hurry. Ben Roethlisberger looks very old and slow out there.
I think this could be Tomlin's last year, honestly. This feels like the beginning of the end.
I wouldn't bet on him being first coach fired, but
no.
That's not a team that makes rash decisions. But if this team goes bad and he doesn't look like he's able to control the locker room again, it might be time for a change of voice in the Steelers organization.
All right, now on to the next question. The Jacksonville Jaguars. How fucked are they without Nick Foles?
Somewhere between very to completely. This new quarterback that came in, 6th-round draft pick out of Washington State. He's a great story and everything.
Gardner Minshew.
He's not gonna pull that again. Maybe he's got a little C.J. Beathard in him from last year on the 49ers, where the 49ers were just willing to take a few chances on a guy because their season was already over. We might see some stuff out of that, but for the most part, without Nick Foles, this just is not a contending team. The Chiefs' defense isn't good. I mean, they spent a lot of money on it, but they had some very glaring holes coming into the season. They were exposed early on and often against the Jaguars. The Jaguars are going to have to play better teams. The Texans have a better defense. The Colts have a better defense. They got 4 games just against them. Tennessee's apparently got the greatest defense in the world. And that's 6 games that the Jaguars are going to have to play against superior defenses to the Chiefs, where they're not going to be able to get away with any of that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to completely disagree with you, because whether they had Nick Foles or not, the Jags were already fucked. I'm sorry. One thing I learned this weekend was that defense, as talented as it is, just completely undisciplined. Miles Jack just lost his fucking mind, and without discipline on defense, doesn't matter how talented you are, you're going to get roasted. And I'm going to say right now, Gardner Minshew, Washington State's finest, I'm kind of on board with him. I trust a mustache like that. I am fully rooting for him to be successful. You said 6th-round draft pick. You know who else was a 6th-round draft pick? That's right, Mr. Tom Brady. And he didn't have the dazzling mustache that Gardner Minshew had. So you know what? I'm rooting for the Jags like Gardner Minshew. The rest of the team, going to self-destruct. They're fucked. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Leonard Fournette, like, there are all these predictions about what Leonard Fournette was going to be, and nobody predicted that he was going to be like the next Rashaan Salam, the next Keyjana Carter, the next Blair Thomas, and he is. He's not a good running back. He's a plodding, slow running back who's going to protect himself from getting hurt and just go for 3 yards every play.
Well, he's plotting because he keeps getting leg injuries, and that eventually saps your power and your strength and your, burst. And really, he's just a guy at this point. He's not a guy I trust.
No, absolutely. He's I wouldn't be shocked if Trayvon Armstead, his backup running back, starts to see some major play within the first month of the season.
Yeah. All right, last question. Who impressed you the most in week 1?
Who impressed me the most in week 1? I mean, there's a few choices you could go with. The Titans absolutely just blew the doors off the Browns, which was impressive. I think we all knew what we were going to get out of the Patriots. At least I knew what we were going to get out of the Patriots in week 1.
We all knew, unless we haven't been paying attention to football in the last 10 years. Of
course. You know, the most impressive thing about week 1 was just that Drew Brees is apparently timeless. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that game last night.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Brees, that's a guy who doesn't get enough respect as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Going out there with no time left and marching his team up there. There were 3 scores in the last 50 seconds of that game. And shout out to Deshaun Watson, too. Like, that was incredible. What the passes he made in that final drive, in that fourth quarter in general.
Deshaun Watson did everything he could to win that game.
Yep.
The problem is, you gave Drew Brees, 30 seconds? That's all he needed. Also, what was up with the tech? What was who's the Romeo Crennel? What was he thinking?
I don't know.
30 seconds? You're just going to lay your secondary and give him a 50-yard cushion? You're going to let him get into field goal range? No, you can't let him get that down the field.
For what it's worth, though, and I will say this, I know people are piling on the Texans' defense. The Saints had to make a 58-yard field goal as time expired.
Yeah.
Almost any team in the NFL is going to give you the opportunity to kick a 58-yarder as time expires instead of just letting them play up and risk a guy getting behind the defense and scoring on a winning touchdown. Every defensive coordinator coach in the NFL is going to choose a 58-yard field goal option to try and stop the team.
Yeah. I'm going to say the most impressive thing for me this in week one, honestly, Lamar Jackson. I know it was against the Dolphins. I'm not reading too much into it, but he looked like a completely different passer than he did in his first season. And I think part of that is, like, we all assumed that because that we knew he was going to need work on his ability to throw the football, but we also knew, like, I think we judged him a little bit too harshly in the way he was utilized, because obviously the way he was I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. The Ravens were trying to win and get into the playoffs. They had to limit what they were doing. They limited their offense. They changed it around to use his strengths, like hide his deficiencies last year, but that doesn't mean he can't get better. And I mean, his deep ball was a thing of beauty, but also he was playing against the Dolphins secondary. I was impressed. Actually, as impressive as Lamar Jackson is, I'm going to change my answer here. The most impressive thing was the Detroit Lions and their ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, because I don't know what Patricia was doing. You don't trust Stafford to snap the ball, and then you just go into complete conservative play calling. You let the Cardinals win when you were destroying them. I mean,
I'd be shocked by this if it wasn't for the fact that I openly called that Matt Patricia was the biggest dumbbell in the coaching tree. He's the worst coach ever to come off the Belichick coaching tree, which is saying something, because Romeo Crennel and Eric Mangini came off that same tree. Matt Patricia is a complete joke of a head coach. He's out there, doesn't know what he's doing. With 9 seconds left, instead of trying to make a first down where there's almost no pressure on the line, you just if Matt Stafford can't make a play, he throws the ball high in the air and it goes out of bounds and time runs out. Instead, he punts it like a coward. Instead of trying to win the game, he'd rather go to overtime. He should have been fired before that game ended for that crap. That is a coward of a coach. He has no balls. He deserves to be gone. The Detroit line, I don't care how much talent they might have on their team. If you're coached by Matt Patricia, you're a go-nowhere last-place team.
And it's unfortunate because there's so much I like. T.J. Hawkinson's my guy. I said he was going to be a stud. He's the guy I was preaching. Get on the waiver wire. This is your last chance to get him. He's owned in less than 50% of fantasy leagues, just a random stat, which is crazy to me because that guy, like, the one thing that holds rookie tight ends back is blocking. And that dude, he can just do it all. And I am both terrified to see him in the NFC North and excited because I love good football players, and that dude's a good football player. You got Kenny Galladay. You got Matt Stafford, who's a really good quarterback. I mean, I just feel so bad for all of them having to deal with Matt Patricia holding them back. That offense should be one of the most dynamic offenses in football with the talent they have. And
Kerryon Johnson at running back, yeah.
Yeah, they're just trash, and it's unfortunate.
That's what you get, though. The NFL is an entire league of followers. When everyone wants to be the next Patriots, so they'll get anybody that has any connection with the Patriots and try and build a team of it, like the Patriots way are going to do it. You know why the Patriots way works? Because Bill Belichick is the greatest coach in NFL history. That's why it works. It doesn't work when you get just fucking random nutsacks like Matt Patricia getting a job or Bill O'Brien getting a job. Any of these guys. Like Brian
Flores. You can be an asshole when you're better than everyone. Otherwise, not going to work.
Two of the most embarrassing performances of the week were the Dolphins and the Lions. Guess who they are coached by? Brian Flores, Matt Patricia, both guys off the Bill Belichick coaching roster. It's not a big secret. It's unbelievable that more NFL teams are actually buying into this crap. The only thing more shocking that Patriots coaches keep getting are getting head coaching spots is the fact that Adam Gase keeps getting a head coaching spot, because give me 10 seconds to really just bash this guy. He sucks. Everybody in Chicago knows he sucks. He's terrible. The moment the NFL figured him out, he was done. He's a glorified CFL offensive coordinator, and he keeps failing upward. The Jets deserve to lose that game because they were coached poorly from start to finish. That defense did enough to win that game, and
just
they let
it out.
Back on him. With 14 minutes left in that game, they had a 94% chance of winning the game by StatCast, and they blew the game to Josh Allen. They blew it because Adam Gase is a garbage head coach.
So in case you weren't paying attention, Brandon Andreessen loves Adam Gase. That is his favorite coach in the NFL. Tell us how you really feel.
I'm going to run out of breath if I have to keep going.
All right, I think we're going to end on that note. Brandon, thanks for joining me here. Do you have anything you want to promote?
Yeah, of course, fancyboysclub.com. It's Tuesday. My power rankings just went live this afternoon. Every week we have great content over there. And, of course, check me out, 30-Team Parlay, every week on footballabsurdity.com. Follow me on Twitter at @TheBman. And I will be dropping all sorts of horrible gambling advice for you and just my random thoughts as I watch football every Sunday.
And as always, you can find all my content at footballabsurdity.com. Also going to be at the Comedy Shrine this weekend if in Aurora, if anyone's looking for some stand-up. And thank you guys for joining me. You can follow me on Twitter at @IamTheWaleed. And I probably won't do anything because I'm never on Twitter, but that's all right. Follow me anyway because I think that's what
we need the follows.
Yeah, I do. I need the follows. I don't know. I don't know how social media works. This YouTube channel probably a good indicator of that. But thank you guys
I need
for
at least
joining us.
111,000 more followers in a hurry here.
111. I just need like, I don't know, 50 to break 100. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But I do know that I had a great time, and thank you all for joining us.